Greetings, everybody. Hope everybody's quarantine is going well. And today in NBC Sports Washington, we're very privileged to welcome on, as you can see, Erik Jones, driver of the number 20 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing. It's a really weird time right now, Erik. I know that we see you have your sponsors adorned with you at home. How are you surviving this quarantine? Have you gone crazy yet?
Not yet. I've been staying as busy as I can. I just moved actually right before all this happened, and I was kind of getting moved in here, and then racing ended for a while. So I've been working like crazy just around the house. I've had plenty of projects, which has actually been good. I was stressed a little bit because I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to get all this done during the season. So I've been plenty busy so far, which has been pretty nice.
So, and it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I would think moving during quarantine is almost a bit of a headache, but for you, I guess you're getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, I beat the quarantine, with moving. So I got all my furniture here and everything, and really just been working outside a lot. I've got some land here that I've just been, keeping up and mowing and weed whacking and planting flowers. So it's been good. It's been keeping me really busy.
I think I also saw that you've been very busy. You donated some blood. You bought some Racers goodies to keep in the freezer and the fridge, and you're also playing a lot of guitar. I wasn't aware of this hobby of yours. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I played guitar when I was a kid. A long time ago. I was probably 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and really just always thought it was a neat hobby and wanted to get more into it. And I really did get into it until I started racing more, and I was traveling a lot, and it kind of fell to the side. So figured I got some time. I might as well try to get back on it again. And, over the last few years, I really just been kind of collecting guitars. There was a lot of guitars when I was a kid that I really liked. I'd go to, Guitar Center all the time or guitar shops and look at what they had hanging on the walls. And there was some that I always wanted. So I went back and bought a few of those guitars, and they've been just kind of sitting around hanging on the wall. So I figured they might as well get, played every once in a while. So I've been trying to do my best to do that.
How's our good boy Oscar doing? Is he sequestered in another room so he's not bothering you? I'm sure that he's loving having his human around.
He's good. I'm in my kitchen. He's napping on the couch right now. So he's been loving it, I'm sure. I think he misses a little bit traveling and going to the racetrack, but I think he's like being at home and having me around all the time. He barely ever stays at the house by himself anymore. So he's liking that, I'm sure. And it's been good. He's been enjoying it. He's been more out though, because he's been outside most of the days with me working. So he's been pretty tired.
I think I speak for all of NASCAR social media when I say that we're enjoying the Oscar content on Twitter. So please keep it coming.
I'll do my best.
Good. So let's talk about iRacing, because since there's no real racing, iRacing has been all the rage, obviously. Now, I want to know your sim setup, because I saw you tweeted out a picture. It's not Denny Hamlin-esque like a spaceship like Clint Boyer says, but it's also not Ty Majeski with a bowl of ice and a fan to keep his computer cool. What's your setup like, and kind of what's your history with sim racing? And I'm sure you've been enjoying it the past few weeks.
Yeah, I'm actually upgrading my sim right now. I was borrowing a sim because I had one, and I sold it actually in January because I was moving and I didn't really have a lot of room in my new house. So I sold my sim rig, and then all this happened. And I was like, well, that was a bad sale for a couple of reasons. So I borrowed one for the last few weeks from JGR. And I actually ordered one that's supposed to be here before this weekend. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it this weekend, but I'm upgrading. So it's nothing still that, quite is on Denny's level, but, it's a little more up to par, I guess, with some of the other guys have. So excited to give it a shot, and, hopefully it'll help us run a little bit better too.
I don't think anybody's on Denny's level, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I don't quite think so.
Yeah. That's good that you upgraded, though, because, like I said, it's been so big. And before this coronavirus and quarantine happened, it was a big thing as well, but this is kind of taking it to the next level. What's kind of your history with sim racing in general? Did you use it when you were kind of coming up through the ranks?
I did actually a lot when I was, back late model racing, and then a little bit during my truck series time too. Once I got to 2015 was my first really busy year in NASCAR. And I just didn't have the time to do it as much. And, on and off a little bit for the past 4 or 5 years, never really put a ton of time into it. So getting back into it again here last month was a little bit of a shock. I thought it would be kind of like riding a bike, but there were some things that were a lot different than what I remembered from being on there. So, kind of had to relearn and get better at it again. But, I feel like we've all been putting in a lot of work just to try to put on better races. Every driver, I'd say it's pretty split as far as, who's really got a lot of experience with it. Some guys don't have any experience with it. So, everybody's trying to get better at it and continue to put on good races. So it's definitely, the future right now until we get back to the track is to continue doing these races.
Speaking of experience in iRacing, I call William Byron Mr. iRacing because that's just how everybody knows him. And I read in Jeff Gluck's 12 Questions on The Athletic that you actually had a very interesting and unorthodox first meeting with Mr. Byron when I think he was about 13 years old at a Legends race. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was I don't know how old he would have been. I think I was 16 or 17, so he must have been 13, 14.
Right.
And yeah, I was actually running a late model race in Nashville. I was running the All-American for KBM at the time. And one of the guys I knew there had wanted me to meet this driver. And it was William, and his dad had come to the race to watch and, see kind of what it was all about. And I remember being in the same situation, going to watch these races and trying to meet people.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, this guy's going to start racing Legends cars next year. His name's William Byron. He's been on iRacing. He's preparing. And I'm like, I mean, at that point, nobody ever really had come from iRacing to NASCAR
Right.
or any kind of racing. So I was like, well, I was like, good luck. It's nice to meet you, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then I'd actually kind of forgotten about the meeting until, maybe the last year or so. William and I, had become friends, and I remembered it, and we talked about it one day. So it's kind of funny looking back on that.
That's really crazy. I was going to say, you probably joke about that with him more times than anybody.
Yeah, it was funny. Like I said, I totally forgot about the meeting because it was, I'm talking, this was like an hour and a half before the race. And quick, hey, how you doing? And I went in and raced, and I'd forgotten about it. But once I remembered it, yeah, I give him a hard time about it here and there.
That's funny. Well, on the actual racetrack, the year has been a bit up and down. You kicked it off with a bang in the Clash, as we all called the crash, and that was just its own being. But on the track, it's been a little bit of mixed results. What do you think has been the Achilles heel for you guys? Has it been more so bad luck, or still adjusting to another year, just trying to adjust to this rules package with some tweaks here and there?
Well, I think we're just, trying to play a little bit of catch up right now. I think, we just started the year off a little bit behind from where we were, which was, I guess, kind of odd. We didn't really expect that for sure. We came off such a strong year, and no real rule changes other than the short track package, reverting back to the low downforce. So, it's just been different. We've been trying to work through it. Kind of a disappointing time to, I guess, take a break on the season because I feel like we're, really trying to work hard to get our stuff better right now. And we're getting there, but we just need time to be on the track and be working out there to work on our stuff. So, hopefully we get back racing soon and we continue to, we've done a good job even, some slow starts at JGR of making by the midpoint of the season where we want to be. So hopefully we can do that again.
So this weekend we head to the virtual Richmond Raceway. Now, I was looking at your real life results, and I don't want to bring up a bad memory, but I forgot that the last time we went there, that was when you guys swept 1, 2, 3, 4, but you unfortunately got DQ'd. So that was a bad memory, but how about we turn around the iRacing luck? Because you had a good run in Miami, you had some trouble at Texas, and then you had some trouble as well at where did we race last week? I'm drawing a blank. Bristol. There we go. So how about we turn the page and we have a good run this week? What do you say?
I like that plan. Yeah, Richmond has been a pretty good track to me. We obviously had an unfortunate incident there last time, but for the most part, it's been good. So yeah, hopefully, we got wrecked at Texas, running probably 6th or 7th at the end on that green white checkered, and then had some major technical difficulty last week at Bristol. So got a new sim coming, and hopefully we can get things going the right way.
New sim, new luck, new outlook. Let's do it. Erik Jones, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're following all the CDC guidelines and observing social distance. So keep moving in. Congrats on the new sim rig. Tell Oscar we all love him, and we're looking forward to seeing more of his content, and we'll hopefully see you at the racetrack soon, all right?
Sounds like a plan. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Erik.